Hi everyone, today I want to share a fun card made with the Darling Dinos stamp set. This one is super cute and I really liked it because it's coloring and I love to color. Not everybody does, but I really do enjoy coloring, and I like the sentiments, and I didn't have a lot of kids stuff lately. I realized that as my kids got older I gravitated towards not having kid things, and then I needed kid things for like friends' children, or my sister now has grandchildren amazingly. So I realized I don't have children's things. I kind of lost my children's stuff. So anyway, I thought this one was adorable and I wanted to have this one. So super cute. It has really cute dies that cuts out all the images that you have here, the little hats and the balloons and things. So you got all of that, but it also has some additional things like this little egg. You can cut two of them and make it a top and a bottom, or you can have the little dinosaur coming out of this egg and then have the little top of an egg. I haven't used this part. There. You can have it like sitting on top of his head like it hasn't quite come off. That was a sample from the online store, so it's just really cute. Anyway, so let's use these. And I also really wanted to show you this stamp set here where it says roar means, and then there's a space, and then it says in dinosaur. That's one stamp. So I don't know if you can see it yet. We'll use it and then you'll see it. But roar means what in dinosaur? You can put you're terrific or happy birthday or I love you in dinosaur, which I thought was really cute. You can customize it. Super sweet. And I actually got some cards in the mail from other demonstrators. I participated in like a swap, and they both went with these two colors. Look at that. These are from two different people, and they both went with boho blue, and then they paired it with that plaid paper from the online store, and it's in the mini spring catalog. So that's a really fun paper pack, and they both went with the same colors. This person did wild wheat for their dino, which makes me happy because I love wild wheat, and then this person did the boho blue. It's really cute. So I went, when I did mine, completely opposite. I went bright and bold because I remembered this girl, this little girl who loved dinosaurs, and she was in my children's church class. And so this reminds me of her, Colleen. So anyway, bright and pink and girly, but yet dinosaurs. So to me, that is her. So anyway, and now she's older too. So I'm not going to send it to her, but I just wanted to make it in these colors because I wanted to say, hey, dinosaurs are not just for little boys. Okay, so here I colored them in, and I did some with Stampin' Blends and I did some with watercolor pencils, and I did that because I wanted to show both, and that it is fun to be able to color with the pencils. And I really love the watercolor pencils, but the blends give that rich color, but they're more expensive, so you kind of can see the difference. And then I want to show you these dies and this little treatment that I did on them. I made these months ago, and they've been sitting on my desk for a long time and getting buried and then unburied, so they're a little worn, so it'll be nice to make a new one and not get it buried. Okay, so let's get started. Now, you may have noticed that my card is slender, and what I mean by that is it looks skinny, and maybe you didn't notice that, but let me grab a standard one. So like normally it would be this thick, right? So I cut a little bit off. And the reason I did that is because I wanted this banner to hang past the card. And I see that a lot on cards with the banners hanging past, but it doesn't fit in a regular envelope. Then you have to get a custom envelope, or you have to get a bigger envelope this way, which means then you have to make the card bigger this way, or it just kind of flops inside the envelope. So I like it to fit snug in an envelope, and I like it to fit in envelopes that I already have on my desk, which would be this one. So notice that the card, it's still the same height. It's 5.5 inches, but rather than being 4 1/4, it's only 3 3/4. And then when the banner comes out, that makes up the difference, and then that equals 4 1/4, so it fits inside a standard greeting card. That is important to me because I want my cards made, but also sent out and usable. So anyway, we'll talk about that. Okay, so let's get going. The base of my card is Melon Mambo, and I cut it, so the length here is 7.5, and then it's scored at 3 3/4, so you've got a 3 3/4 by 5.5 card. Okay, scored in the middle, so it's 7.5 total. Let me put it down and make sure, because I cut these, like I said, months ago. Yes, I cut them a long time ago, and then I completely forgot to do this video. So anyway, here we go. And then I'm going to use Melon Mambo ink and do a little background here. And I'm gonna do little hearts, and I like that the stamp set includes all these little add-ons, because you can, instead of doing hearts, you can put a background of balloons and party hats. And it's tone on tone, so it's kind of giving a suggestion of an image without being really busy. So I'm gonna go with the hearts because I just think they're adorable. And I'm just gonna kind of come down from the top and alternate them every so often, trying to be random. Sometimes random is hard because our brain just wants to be in a pattern. I'm going to skip a little bit because you're not going to see that. Okay, so I think I successfully added some random hearts. That's too straight of a line, so I'm going to mess that up. Okay, I've got my random hearts. So that is the base of the card. Super simple. All right, now for the next part, we're going to create what did I do with my scrap white? Here it is. We're going to make our dinosaurs. Now I'm going to color these with the Stampin' Blends, or should I use pencils? Oh, I'm going to use blends because they're already out on my desk. And I'm going to do one, but I will show you others. When I made my cards for the swap, I just stamped sheets of dinos and then cut them all out, colored them and cut them out. So I have lots of dinos in this little bag, but we're gonna do this one together. So I'm gonna color him using some bright colors. I'm gonna use Melon Mambo, and this is Summer Splash. I forgot because I want to call it Coastal Cabana. It's really close to Coastal Cabana, but not quite. And then I'm also using Lemon Lime Twist for the spots and the little horns. Okay, so let me close this up before I get myself inky. All right, so how I like to do it, some people like to do darks first and then light. Some people like to do light, dark, light. I kind of find that it works either way. This is the light, Summer Splash, and I'm gonna go ahead and color his little, I don't know what you call this part of the Triceratops. No idea. I hope that's a Triceratops. I used to, when my kids were younger, I knew all the dinosaurs, and now I feel I am forgetting. All right, so I'm just coloring the background here, and then I'm going to go over it again with the dark, but I'm just going to do it in selected areas just to give little highlights. So I'm going to come in with the dark. And I like the brush tip. I probably use it the most. Oops. And I'm just kind of darkening the area where it hits his face, or her face, whatever it is. Okay. Now I'm going to grab, let's see, I'll do the little spots because they're small. Now, there is a dark and a light to the Lemon Lime Twist. I'm going to probably just use the light. We'll see. I'm going to color in his little spots. Maybe his little toenails. Are they toenails? I don't know. And the horns. Yep. He's cute. I might go in with the dark and just kind of add some stripes on the horns just to give them a little dimension, and maybe I'll do one side of these dots. All right. Next, I'm going to go in with the Melon Mambo. So this is the light, and I am going to just do the whole body. then I'm going to take the dark and I'm going to just add little highlights, like I'll do the mouth and maybe the little eyebrows and like where his shadowing of his tummy and around his legs, just to give him some dimension. It kind of rounds him out a little bit. All right. Okay, so there is my little dino. Next, I'll do the cutting out at the same time. So then I'll grab, I have a lot of these little orange ones, so I'm gonna grab one from my bag. Okay. And that way you don't have to watch me color too. And then let's do our letters. I love this Roar, and this is a fun die that is great to have on hand. A lot of times the alphabets are too big. These are small. You can get a whole word on there. You can write a sentence. All I need is the Roar, and I want to show you how. These are on just 3 plates, and you can use an entire piece of cardstock and cut all the letters out at once, or you can try to be more strategic. I kind of go both. Here, I do it both ways. I used these a ton in February. Okay, so let's see. And I had some left over. Let me see if I have a bag of those. Oh, here's how I store them. Let me show you this cute little thing. So, and I use it for more than just this particular die set. What is that? Okay, so here's like R. And maybe, oh, I do have an R in there, which is good because Roar needs 2 R's. So I'm going to take one of these R's, unless that's a different color. Here's 2 R's. Maybe I'll take both of them. And I have got S's in there. And that way when I do sometimes use a big sheet, I can put them in here. Now, I have them in this cute little case that has a lot of little bins. So if you don't have to do that, you can put them all in one, you know, or a little envelope. I'm just gonna, look at that, I've got an O. Like I said, I use these a lot in February, so I might have an A too. Let's see, and then I don't have to cut any of them. I do, woohoo! And they're all in a few different colors because I only use this on like a couple cards. Oh, and this one's already glossy. Nice. All right. Okay, so this is how I keep them in this cute little tin, and I'll see if I can link it on the video. I got it at Amazon. Okay, but normally if I did have to cut them, I would grab my scrap and I would just, you know, cut like where I needed. So maybe I would just need the R, or I would look for scraps that are the right size. Like, oh, here, this would be, oh, I do need an exclamation point, so let's grab that one. Or, you know, I would look for some of these types of strips and I would put them right on top of the letter if it was the right size. Here's one that's the right size. And you can see that I used this one for some A's. So anyway, you can do just a strip and use some washi tape. You can see I've got some residue of washi tape on there, and just kind of do an area. Or you can do the whole thing. Let me see if I have any exclamation points. You know, that's what I didn't save. I didn't save a, I could have made one of these into a special one for some of these odd little things. I think I'll have to do that. Okay, anyway. I need an exclamation point, so I don't need this one. I need this one. So I'm going to grab my mini machine since I just need the one little die. So you just kind of put down your clear plates. Well, you got a base plate and a clear plate, and then all I want is this, so I'm going to just go like that. Now, what I should have done is not done this, because I'm now remembering what I did. And that is that I put sticker backing on these, which we have, and what it is, it's a adhesive sticker sheet, and you can put it on the back of the cardstock, and then when you run it in, it turns this into a sticker. And it was awesome. Are any of these? No, none of these are. I loved it because when it turns it into a sticker, you can stick it on your card easily. And I'm realizing that the A is a different color. What? These are lemon lime twist, and this one is granny apple green. As I'm gonna do the sticker sheet and do it again because I want them to stick and I want them all the same color. All right. The sticker sheet. Now the new ones are not from Sizzix that are in the current Stampin' Up catalog, but I'm using up my inventory, so mine say Sizzix on them. And so I'm going to cut this to the size of my paper. Is this big enough? Yes. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it down. So I'm going to peel the backing off. Now which side is stickery? The letter side. And put it on my cardstock. So now I do need my letter dies. See, I made these a while ago. So I'm going to use 2 R's. So I'm going to go ahead and stick those down there. And I need an O. So I'm going to put that there. And I need an A. Oops. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the B. See, I like to, if I'm going to cut it, I'm going to cut the whole thing. Now the thing to remember, if you put the sticker sheet on, you want to put it upside down like this, because you know sometimes with like an O it doesn't matter, but on these other letters you want to make sure you're not going backwards or the wrong way. So what I mean is that when you peel it, you don't want your R having to face, you know, your sticker makes it face the wrong way. All right, so I have some washi tape usually sitting around, and I'm going to go ahead and put these kind of washi taped down so that they don't move around. Okay, and I'm going to cut, oh, and I forgot my exclamation point. There it is. Okay, and now these are going to be stickers, and I love that. These are, the sticker sheets are available still, but like I said, they don't have the word Sizzix on them. So it's easier if you stick them on the solid side, which I could have done with the R, but I can't really do with the O because it's in the middle. But I could have done it with this one, so I'm going to fix it, just because that way when you stick it through, this washi is going to go in between all these letters, and it'll be harder to cut out. Okay, so I'm going to run this through and I'll be right back. So see what I mean? Like, this is easier to peel this off if you're doing it from the front, but because I did it on the back, this one is kind of in this P a little bit. So I just have to take a little needle and get it out. It just takes a second. And you know, if you cut an entire sheet or an entire row, you know, instead of cutting just the O's, I could have done the entire row, and then I have extra letters for next time. And you know, now I wanted all my letters to be the same color, but sometimes that doesn't matter. Using all different color letters could be fun. You know, you could spell out something in multiple colors, and that would be cute. All right, did I get them all? Nope. I've got a random B over here that's kind of just left over since the paper was long enough. I just went with it. All right. I think that's everything. All right, so now we have our letters. Now what I'm going to do with these letters while I'm putting things together is I'm going to add some glue to give them a shine. So it makes them kind of look shiny and embossed. So let me do that. And I'm going to use a silicone mat. This is the one that came with a glass mat. But you can also buy little silicone sheets. Mine are all, I think, in the kitchen because they're messy right now. So I'm going to go ahead and use the one that came with the glass mat. And I'm going to spell out roar. Did I grab all the ones with the stickers? Yes. R-L, and then I have this one. And then I had this extra A and a B. I'll just put those off to the side for another day. Okay, now I'm going to take my fine tip glue. I'm just going to get it started over here. And then, oh, I forgot my exclamation point. Okay, I don't want to lose this little tiny dot. All right, put that over there. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and put this glue, and this is the fine tip glue, so it's easy to kind of put on top. And I am going to just kind of get it all over the top of this. Try not to get bubbles, which when you're using it as glue doesn't really matter, but I'm trying to, these will be visible. I'm going to grab my, just to hold it in place a little bit. This is a fun thing to do on eyes too, like if you have something you're coloring that has big eyes, you can add this glue and it makes them look like you've got googly eyes on there because it just makes them really stand out. Or anything, you can use this glue to make anything shine. You can add detail to a water scene and have like shiny areas of water. You can put it on stars, whatever. It's just kind of fun. Oh, little tiny guy there. All right, I got them all, and I'm going to set those aside while I finish the card, and then those will go on last. All right, where did my lid go? Uh-oh, there it is. All right, when you're closing the fine tip glue, you want this needle that's in the cap to go in that inside that tip. And sometimes if you just jam it, this will fold up inside there. So I like to put it on, rest it on my actual finger, so that, and then guide it in that way. Used another day. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut out this dinosaur. Okay, let's put the rest of our card together. So for the base, we've got our Melon Mambo base, and then to add a little more color, I've got this pumpkin pie banner. Now I have a little flag on the banner, and you can take your paper snips and just cut the banner flag, but we do have a perfect punch for this. It's this hexagon punch, and I like that it's kind of rounded. So I'm going to do that, and that's why I made this flag, or this banner part, 2 inches, because I wanted to be able to just go like this and put it in here, and it's the right size. So I'm just kind of looking at the back to see if I'm lined up okay, and then I'm gonna punch it right out, and now I've got this very nicely rounded banner. And that is gonna go down right here, and I think I have it slightly lower than center, but you can, maybe we can go center. Let's go center this time. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and glue that down. Now you don't want your adhesive to go past, you know, if I accidentally put it here and it goes past and then it sticks in my envelope. So I'm actually going to put the adhesive on my base and stick that down right there. And then I've got another little anchoring piece. This is a piece of designer series paper, the Tone on Tone color packs, and it's 3x3. Did I cut that right? 3. Oh, it's a little bit bigger than 3x3. I'm going to trim it. So close. All right, 3x3 square. And what side do I want? It looks like there's circles, so are they in a row? But they are kind of lined up that way. I don't know that it matters. So I've got some patterned paper here, and this, I said, was 3x3, which is kind of cool because this paper comes in 6x6, and that way you can cut out 4 from one sheet. All right, so I've got that centered. And then I've got a square piece, and this is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and no stamping happens on here, so we can go ahead and stick that straight down. Right in the middle. So all of our card stock is down except for the inside, and we're going to stamp it first before adhering it, just because if we make a boo-boo we can flip it over. So this one, normally I would put inside a 4 by 5 1/4 piece, but remember this is skinnier, so this is actually 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. Okay, and then we're going to use that really cute Roar stamp, and I'm going to go ahead and use the color that I put on the Triceratops, which is Summer Splash. So it says Roar means, and then there's a space, and then in Dinosaur. So then I think I did an I love you one already, so I think what I'll do on this one is Happy Birthday, and I'll do that in Melon Mambo. Did you notice my Melon Mambo ink pad is one of the older ones? I have 2 left of the older ones and remaining, and this is one of them, so that means this is one of my older colors. All right, Roar means happy birthday. Excuse my head, it's coming down. There, happy birthday in Dinosaur. Super cute. Now I'm gonna put, you can put a balloon. I already have this little heart out, so I'm gonna use this heart, and I'm gonna just add a couple more that match the outside of the card, kind of going up like so. And then I'm gonna put another dinosaur down there. Now I had a ton already in my little pack of cutout dinosaurs, so to make the video not super long, I'm not gonna color another one. I am just gonna grab one from this pack. Or do I not have any? These are all colored pencil ones now. I used up all my, do I care? This one is a colored pencil one. I think it's okay. Can't decide. You know what? I like to keep my colored pencil ones together. It's funny, I have none of the green one left. So I'm gonna go ahead and make one, and I'll just do it on fast forward. How about that? Okay. Okay, we didn't have to cut him out because he's on the inside and he's flat. So let's go ahead and attach. Okay, so now we have to put down our little guys here, and I'm going to use dimensionals and stick them up. I'm putting them like this so that the Roar can go right here. And let me grab some dimensionals. I love this side here. It's perfect for the dinosaur's neck. So I'm just going to cut some off. All right, now my Roar is not dry. So close to being dry. I will fast forward through my cleanup and then hopefully it'll be dry. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stick these on now. I almost forgot that they were stickers and I was gonna put glue on the back. All right, so to remove the little label, all I'm gonna do is use my take your pick tool and kind of try to get up an end here, and then peel that backing off. And stick it down like a little sticker. To make it fit, I had to go all the way to the end. I love how the letters are puffy and shiny. It makes them look like puffy stickers, because they are puffy stickers. Oops, that A was not dry. Whoops. Did I do him last, towards the end? Is my R dry? Man, I didn't give it enough time. You could actually stick these to your card first before putting the glue on, and that way you're kind of done. And then set it aside. I mean, either way you have to wait for it to dry, so I guess it only matters if you're making a video. So for example, I already did, while I was waiting for these to dry, I used some of those dinosaurs from the bag of ones that I already colored, and I made another card because I had another card kit with the base already made, so I figured I might as well use some of those already colored dinosaurs. I didn't have to do any coloring, and they were punched out and everything, so I did that, but I didn't put the glue on there because I thought, well, I'll do that last, so I will do that really quick. So the only thing about these stickers is that they are small, so you are needing some kind of a needle, or I use this take your pick tool. It's very handy. And these are still a little wet, so they want to stick to me. And so now they're not quite as smooth looking as they could have been. And I can do another layer on top of them. Ooh, this little guy's the hardest. He is so tiny, and because it's tiny and round, it doesn't lay flat, so it's hard to get the sticker off the back. Because I've turned it into like a little ball by putting that glue on the front. Alright, he might have been one better off to just attach to the cardstock and then put that little glob of glue on top. I do like the way the glue looks though. A little shine. Alright, I got it. Okay. Roar. Oh, it's sticking to it's not dry yet. All right, we're gonna go to the example. Here it is, done. All right, this was the previous, and the glossy letters are just so fun. And then here's the one I did while I was waiting, no glossy letters. I kind of feel like those glossy letters really add something, and so I'm gonna do it. Is this the bottle? Oh, this is what I'm doing. I'm accidentally taking, I'm like, why does it look different? I accidentally took off the, there we go. That's great. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this after the fact and hopefully not make a mess. So that's an option. And it's easier, do it this way. Learn from my mistakes. I'm getting some bubbles though. On that R. This is so much easier. I think this is how I did it when I did the swap, because I had to make 15, and I believe I did it this way. Now it's kind of like icing, if you ice royal icing cookies. And see how much faster this was, all when it's attached? Definitely do it that way. Now I did get some bubbles in this side. Let's see if I can pop them. No, those bubbles don't want to come out. It's right at the beginning when you first start. So if you wanted to start off the page, All right, roar. That way's easier. And I'll have to find, see, and then when I stuck them down, I got kind of fingerprints in there. So I'll give it another coat so it's shiny again. And that is my little card. I hope you like it. I hope you like this little slim, but with the banner poking out. I think it looks really fun, and yet still fits in that envelope, which is important to me. And I hope you like the glue trick. Now the glue trick is fun, I promise you. I just think it's better to do it this way, not that way. And now I am totally remembering that that is how I did it. I remember when I was making the swaps, I did it this way first, and then I got irritated, and then I started doing it that way, and that was so much better. There we go. So I will just clean these up a little bit. Let's see if that takes off the fingerprints or if they're just going to still show up underneath. Nope, that does clean them up. All right. So I will clean this up and it'll be cute once again. Oh yeah, that cleans it up. Saved. Okay, there you go. I hope you like it. Thanks so much for watching. Please give me a little like or a thumbs up or a heart or a comment. It helps my algorithm, and then YouTube will show my video. And that makes me happy. So if you will do that for me, that would be great. I love sharing these videos with you, and they're free. So thank you so much. Bye.